I'd like to start this press conference with a question myself. What are we all going to talk about next year? Look, it's a dream come true. I've dreamt about that moment for as long as I can remember. I mentioned it out in the prize ceremony, but watching Tiger here in 1997 do what he did and winning his first green jacket, I think that inspired so many of my generation to want to emulate what he did. And there were points in my career where I didn't know if I would have this nice garment over my shoulders, but I didn't make it easy today. I certainly didn't make it easy. I was nervous. It was one of the toughest days I've ever had on the golf course. In a funny way, I feel like the double bogey at the first sort of settled my nerves. And it's funny, walking to the second tee, the first thing that popped into my head was John Ram a couple of years ago making double and going on to win. So, at least my mind was in the right place and was at least thinking positively about it. But just a complete roller coaster of a day. It was very tricky out there. It almost felt more like a US Open than a Masters at some points, just with how firm and fast the greens got. But just really proud of how I bounced back from the double on 1, from the double on 13. I don't know if any Masters champions had 4 doubles during the week, but maybe I'm the first. But yeah, just a complete roller coaster of emotions today, and honestly, what came out of me on the last green there in the playoff was, at least 11 years, if not 14 years of pent-up emotion. Since 2011, I think it's so ironic as well. I got to my locker this morning and I opened it up, and there was a note in there from Angel Cabrera, and just wishing me luck. And Angel Cabrera was the player I played with in the final day in 2011. So it was a nice touch and a little bit ironic at the same time. And it's been 14 long years, but thankfully I got the job done. It's very difficult. I think I've carried that burden since August 2014. It's been 11 years. It's nearly 11 years. And not just about winning my next major, but the career Grand Slam, trying to join a group of 5 players to do it, watching a lot of my peers get green jackets in the process. It's been difficult, and I've tried to approach this tournament with the most positive attitude each and every time that I've shown up, and I think just the sort of cumulative experience that I've gained coming back here each and every year, I feel like I get a little more comfortable with the shots needed. I talked about it at the start of the week, but there's talking about it and actually doing it. And yeah, today was difficult. I was unbelievably nervous this morning. Really nervous on the first hole, as you witnessed with the double. But as I said, that sort of calmed me down, and I was able to bounce back and show that resilience that I've talked about a lot. And it was a heavy weight to carry, and thankfully now I don't have to carry it, and it frees me up. And I know I'm coming back here every year, which is lovely. Yeah, look, you have to be the eternal optimist in this game. You have to, and I've been saying it until I'm blue in the face. I truly believe I'm a better player now than I was 10 years ago. And, I just, it's so hard to stay patient. It's so hard to keep coming back every year and trying your best and not being able to get it done. And, there was points on the back 9 today. I thought, have I let this slip again? But again, I responded with some clutch shots when I needed to, and Really proud of myself for that. But yeah, it's been a emotionally draining week for a lot of reasons, a lot of just roller coaster rounds and late finishes, and so just absolutely thrilled to be sitting here at the end of the week as the last man standing.
Alex Maselli.
I would see a young man that didn't really know a whole lot about the world. I'd say I probably would see a young man with a lot of learning to do and a lot of growing up to do, and also maybe I probably didn't understand myself. I didn't understand why I got myself in a great position in 2011, and I probably didn't understand why I let it slip in a way. But I think just having a little more self-reflection, that experience, going through the hardships of tough losses and all that, I would, and I would say to him, just stay the course, just keep believing. And I would say that to any young boy or girl that's listening to this, or, I've literally made my dreams come true today. And I would say to every boy and girl listening to this that, believe in your dreams, and if you work hard enough and you put the effort in, that you can achieve anything you want.
Gabby Herzig.
Rory, for those of us who will never know what it's like to step up on a first tee with a two-shot lead at the Masters with the career Grand Slam on the line, can you just walk us through what you were feeling? How did those nerves manifest? What were the bodily sensations that you were feeling?
What tee?
First tee.
Oh, the first tee. Everything that you would, knot in your stomach. I haven't really had much of an appetite all day. Tried to force food down. Your legs feel a little jelly-like, and it's those nerves that are natural, and they're all good things. If you weren't feeling like that, I think that's more of a problem than when you do feel them. But it's such a battle in your head of just trying to stay in the present moment and just trying to hit this next shot good, and then hit the next shot good, and that was the battle today. My battle today was with myself. It wasn't with anyone else. At the end there, it was with Justin, but my battle today was with my mind and staying in the present. And I'd like to say that I did a better job of it than I did, but it was a struggle. But I got it over the line.
John.
After scoring, Harry and I were walking to the golf cart to bring us back to the 18th tee, and he said to me, "Well, pal, we would have taken this on Monday morning." I'm like, "Yep, absolutely, we would have." So that was an easy reset. He basically said to me, "Look, you would have given your right arm to be in a playoff at the start of the week." So that sort of reframed it a little bit for me, and again, I just kept telling myself, just make the same swing you made in regulation, and I had a great drive up there, and and the rest is history.
And what would you say?
Amen. I've known Harry since I was 7 years old. I met him on the putting green at Hollywood Golf Club. We've had so many good times together. He's been like a big brother to me the whole way through my life. And to be able to share this with him after all the close calls that we've had, all the crap that he's had to take from people that don't know anything about the game. This one is, just as much his as it is mine. He's a massive part of what I do, and I couldn't think of anyone better to share it with than him.
Mike.
Point during next week.
Will you be taking the green jacket to Old Trafford?
If it can inspire some better play, absolutely. It's up there. You know, I'm not going to compare it to life moments like a marriage or having a child, but it's the best day of my golfing life. And yeah, I'm very proud of myself. I'm proud of never giving up. I'm proud of how I kept coming back and dusting myself off and not letting the disappointments really get to me. Talking about that eternal optimist again, and yeah, very proud.